This video goes along with worksheet 3-2.5, which is still a review over y-intercept, slope, translations, and the steepness of slopes. Okay, on number one, if I would pause the video and see if you can come up with the answer, and then press play and check it. All right, the graph of a line that contains the points -1, -5, and 4, 6, or no, 4, 5 are shown below. Which best represents a line if the slope is doubled and the y-intercept remains constant? Well, let me go through here and talk about this. Remains constant. That means it remains the same. So the y-intercept is right here at 0, -3. So this one has 0, -3. Now this one doesn't. -3 would be right here. So C is not it. -3 is right here, yes. Oh, and A is not it. So I can cross off A and C. Now the next thing says that the slope is doubled. When you're doubling, you're taking it times 2, which means you're making a larger number. And anytime you make it a larger number, it becomes steeper. So this line is flatter than the line graphed. So your answer would be B. Next, pause the video and see if you can come up with the right answer. If the slope of a graph f of x equals x minus 6 is doubled and the y-intercept remains constant, y-intercept remains the same. Well, what's the y-intercept? -6. Well, this one doesn't have a -6. This one does not. This one doesn't. It better be this one. It says that if it's doubled. So the slope right now is 1, and 1 times 2 is 2. So your answer is B. Next. Right here, determine if the two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Remember that when they are parallel, they have the same slope. The slopes are the same. Perpendicular is an opposite sign and a reciprocal. Well, these are not the same, so they're not parallel. Now, this is negative, this is positive, that's good, that's the opposite. Now this says 1/4. If I flip it over, I get 4 over 1. 4 over 1 is the same as 4, so yes, it is perpendicular. All right, this one says, which of the equations passes through the point -1, 4 and has a slope of 2? Well, the first thing I would look at is see slope of 2. Well, that has a slope of 2, that has a slope of 2, so does that one. Okay, well, let me pull up my calculator for a second. Okay, what I would do, let me just make this smaller. I would go into my calculator and put in there, let's try this one, 2x minus 7, just because I can see it right there. 2x minus 7. And it wants to know if this point is in there. So if I go in there, I go to y equals, oh no, I don't go to y equals, I go to second graph, and I look and see for -1, 4. No, it says -1, -9. So it's not C. Let's try 2x minus 3. And I press second graph. Well, let's see, -1, -4. Nope, it's not B. So let's try this next one. It says 2x plus, whoop. Nope, that's not what I want here. Plus 6. Second graph. I have -1, -4. That means my answer is A. The next one, pause video, come back and see how you did. It says the total cost C of buying N 10-ounce boxes of laundry detergent at RJ's Wholesale Club is, and it gives you the equation. Then it gives you, okay, so we have one equation, and here is the second equation. It says, how do the graphs compare compare to each other. Okay. I'm starting with this one. So it says, how does RJ's compare to Shop and Save? So start here. What's happening to my y-intercepts? Well, what is my y-intercept right here? It's plus 0. How do I get from 35 to 0? I go down. It's less. So the y-intercept is less. So I can cross out B, because it says y-intercept is greater, and it says down here on D, y-intercept is greater. What about my slopes? My slopes, I go from 14 to 16. When I get larger, what does that do? It makes my line steeper. The slope is greater. The answer is A. Next one. This one wants to know what is the meaning of the slope. Okay, so pause the video if you haven't answered it. Meaning of slope, right here, we're going to have y per x. Well, here's x, here's y. Y is the number of pennies collected. So I'm going to have number of pennies per, the x is the day. So I go down here, it says number of pennies collected per day. Your answer should be C. Next one. Select the correct equation that goes through these 2 points. Now you can go in the calculator and put in there 3/2 x plus 7 and press second graph and look and see, is that point, are those points in there 0, 5? No, it says 0, 7. So this is not the answer. Now, the other thing I would tell you is to look at right here. 0, 5, that's my y-intercept. So if you really wanted to troubleshoot this and kind of problem solve, I know that this isn't right because it doesn't have a 5. Now this one has a plus 5 and this one does. So now if you wanted to do it by hand, you could build a table 3, 7, and 0, 5, and do delta y over delta x. But you also still can go in here and get 3/2 x plus 5 and press second graph and look and see if the point 3, 7 is in there. It says 3 and 9.5, so that's not the right answer right here. So hopefully this next one is. Let's try this. Let's try 2 divide 3 and press second graph. 3, 7. There it is, 3, 7. So my answer is D. Next one, right here. Pause the video and come back and see if you can get the right answer. The graph of the equation is shown at the right. If the slope is multiplied by 1/2 and 4 is subtracted from the y-intercept, what is the equation of the resulting graph? All right, well, let's find the equation of this one. Or actually, if this was me, what I would do is I would start with my y-intercept right here. Let's figure out if you subtracted 4 from the y-intercept, go down 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my new y-intercept. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 0, 4. Well, I can cross off this one and this one right here. Now, this says that you take the slope and multiply it by 1/2. So let's figure out what the slope is. Down 1 and over 1. Nope. Down 2 and over 1. Yep, it's -2 over 1, which is -2. If I took -2 and multiplied it by 1/2, I would get -1. My answer should be B. The next one, given the function that's parallel, give the function parallel to the function y equals -2x minus 1 and passes through the point -3, 10. All right, so I can do a couple different things. One way is I know that when my lines are parallel, my slope is -2. So I can go to -3 and up to 10 and put a dot. My slope is -2 over 1. I can go down 2 to the right 1. Down 2 to the right 1 and put a dot. Down 2 to the right 1 and put a dot. Down to the right 1. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I need as my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 4. My equation would be y equals negative 2x plus 4. Now, if I wanted to do it by a table, I could go here and I could put in the point negative 310, and then my slope of negative 2 times negative 3, multiply those together, get 6. What do you have to do to 6 to get to 10? Add 4. So it would come up with the same thing, y equals negative 2x plus 4. Here's the next one. Pause the video and see if you can find the right answer. It says the original function is graphed on the same grid with this other function. Which of the following statements is true? Okay, well, what I could do is go here in the calculator. I can go to y equals. Now, I'll put in the first one. 2 divide 5 x, and then plus 4. Now, what I would do, because there's 2 of them, I'd go all the way over here to the end and press enter. And then go down. That's only going to make my line graph a little bit darker. Okay, so I've got 5 divide 2 x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to press graph. Here's the first one, and there's the second one. Okay, well, what do I notice first? First, I should be able to look at my equations right here and see that both of my y-intercepts are 4. So I know that they're both going to intersect at 4. So at 0, 4. So this is correct. 4, 0. 4, 0 is over here. Well, that's not right. It says the original function is parallel to the new one. No, parallel means they have to have the same slope. So that's not it. This one says the original function is steeper than this one. Well, this right here is 0.4 if you divided it, and this is 2.5. Which number is bigger? This one is bigger. The second one is steeper. So the only answer I have is D.